and today I want to talk about an issue that seems to frustrate a lot of business owners. If you've ever let somebody go, fired somebody in the state of Georgia for what you believe is a really good reason, and then had that employee go out and get unemployment, then you know what I'm talking about. Unemployment is one of the biggest frustrations that I run into with business owners. And so what I want to do today is give you a different way of thinking about unemployment that will make it a little bit more understandable and actually help you win your unemployment cases. So, the first thing to know is that unemployment is insurance. It is insurance for your employee if they lose their job. It's actually the employment income security benefit or something like that. So think of it like insurance, and if your insurance company is going to deny your auto claim from your auto wreck, you're going to expect them to have a really good reason, right? So as the business owner, if you're going to get the employee's unemployment insurance denied, you're going to have a really good reason as a business owner to have that denied. So the other thing to keep in mind is this can make a big difference in your business. It's actually the difference in paying just $28.50 a year per employee versus $826 per year per employee in unemployment insurance. In your unemployment tax rate. So your tax rate's determined on how many people actually get employment every year and over time. So the lower you can get that rate based on your history, the more money you're going to keep in your pocket as a business owner. Okay, 26 versus $826 a year per employee. So if you're going to win unemployment, you need a good reason that you can prove the employee actually committed that they also knew they were going to be fired for. So let me give you an example, just a simple example, and this is the best way to keep somebody from getting unemployment. And you can follow this example with anything an employee is doing wrong in your workplace. Okay, you start with a work rule. A work rule you told the employee about. Now, you can make up the work rule after they do it wrong the first time and then tell them, hey, never do that again. But a work rule you told the employee to follow. Then you write them up whenever they break that work rule. Put it in writing. You did this wrong. This is our rule. You know better. And then I want you to give them at least 2 write-ups before you fire them for it. Then, in each of these write-ups, you actually tell the employee, if you do this wrong again, you can be terminated. And if you're terminated for doing this again, then you could lose your unemployment. And of course, you're doing all this in writing. Then, after that, after those 2 write-ups, the employee breaks the work rule again. Then you look back at your evidence. Can I prove it? Yes, I can. And then you actually terminate the employee for breaking this work rule essentially the 3rd time. So you can see how that would work if someone's tardy. You can prove that they came in late, either with their timesheet, or you saw them with your own eyes, or a coworker saw them, and then you terminate them for that reason. So what you've done by walking through all these steps is created the perfect facts, the perfect evidence that allow you to go to unemployment and prove that it was the employee's fault that she was fired. Now, there are a couple of things that make it a little bit more difficult. I'm just going to tell you what those are. One, if the employee is late for a reason that's excusable in the eyes of unemployment, then you're not going to get very far. For example, if she had a sick child to take to the doctor or deliver to different daycare, then it's probably not her fault in the eyes of the unemployment hearing officer. That doesn't mean you have to keep someone who's late all the time for that same reason. That's a different discussion under a different part of the law that we'll save for later. The second thing is, if you're firing an employee for performance, so you're not doing your job, I've told you you're not doing it, and she continues to do it incorrectly. You can face a problem if the employee was never capable of doing the job. So they come in, they're trying to learn your software, they're trying to learn your process and procedure, and they're just never going to get it. And you let them go for that reason, that employee will get unemployment. If you're incapable of doing the job, you're entitled to unemployment in Georgia. So the one way to get out of that is if you see that someone is never going to learn the job and you let them go before they're with you 16 weeks and before they earn $3,000 from you, then technically they should not be able to get unemployment because they weren't with you long enough. So to summarize, I want you to remember, think of unemployment like insurance. You need a really good reason to terminate an employee to keep them from getting that unemployment insurance. Then you have to be able to prove what they did and then prove that they were at fault. The best way to prove fault is that you actually gave them warnings that if they continue to do that, continue to break that rule, they would be terminated. Now, it might seem like a lot of work, but don't give up. Don't think this is unwinnable. And it will make a huge difference in your business. Not just the difference in, the $26 versus $826 per employee per year in your unemployment taxes, payroll taxes, but it pays off 10 times in the other areas of your business. Because when you force yourself to follow these processes, you're giving your employees a chance to improve, and you're showing your employees that you're going to treat them fairly. And there's nothing worse than working for a boss who lets some people break these rules and other people have to follow these rules. And so if you learn to handle it consistently, you will get a more cohesive, a better working team helping you in your business. Plus, by treating them fairly and giving them second chances, third chances, you're less likely to be sued. And if they sue you for discrimination or something else, then it's more unlikely that they're going to win even if they do sue you. So again, these are best practices, not required, not illegal to do something other than what I've explained in this video, but this is how you build your strongest team to help you succeed in your business. If you liked this, please share it. If you didn't like it, please let me know. And I want you to go out there and make a difference with your business in this community. Create jobs, be stronger, succeed, tell me what you're doing. Believe in what you're doing, lead your team, and succeed. Thank you.